In the final video of this module, we'll be adding some finishing touches to our style guide to make it look a bit nicer. Remember in the API docs that we added a header section with meta information. Let's do the same for our style guide. We'll begin by creating a header file, which will again be a markdown file. So let's go to the terminal and we'll put touch docs style guide header MD. In this file we can include any information about how to install Print Bay or contact details of the authors or whatever. For now we're just going to be a bit boring and put some basic information. So we'll just say welcome to the Print Bay component style guide. In order to add the header to the style guide, let's open the config file again, and we're going to add an additional object to the sections array, and this one's going to go above the component section. We'll give this a name property, and we'll call it getting started, and we'll also add a content property this time, and we'll assign to that the path of the markdown file, which is docs style guide header MD. Let's also add a favicon to our style guide. We can simply use the same favicon that we've been using for Print Bay. So let's add a new property to the template section, and this one is going to be favicon, and we can simply assign to that the path of the favicon, which is public favicon.ico, like that. And finally, it's a personal taste thing, but I'd like it if the props documentation and the code examples were auto-expanded rather than having to click to manually expand them all the time. So to make those changes, we can add two more properties to our config. The first one is usage mode, and we set that to the string expand, and also example mode, and we also set that to expand. After making those changes, be sure to restart the server for them to take effect. Come and reload the site, and then you should now be able to see the new getting started section at the top, the favicon, and of course our usage examples and props and methods documentation are now auto-expanded. We didn't directly cover the documenting of every API endpoint and every component in the previous videos. However, all the knowledge you need to document them has now been covered. So I've completed the documentation for both the API docs and style guide, and I recommend for practice that you implement them yourself, or if you'd like to, check out the code from this lecture and you can merge it into your own. And with that done, we've reached the end of this module, and so I'll see you in module 8 when we'll be adding unit tests to the Print Bay client app.